Hello, everybody. This is Sarah Perry, Psychic Medium, and this is the weekly insights and predictions and guidance for the week of the 10th of January. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm recovering from New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or Christmas or whatever is going around right now, as I know there's a lot of people just dropping everywhere at the moment. I do feel things are going to clear soon. At a rapid rate, and then suddenly there's this clear playing field and we're all going, oh, what happened there? I've seen this for a long time. I'm getting, funny enough, I've just got January the 10th, which is today, as the start of something clearing, and an immense sigh of relief coming from a few people out there who are listening. Now, if anybody would like a private reading with me, do get on down to the website www.sarahperrypsychic.com and do feel free to share. And if you haven't already done so and you really want to, then please do like and subscribe to this channel, as it keeps things going, and it means I can do more blogs or vlogs and recordings for you. Now, I'm getting the words, everything's a bit of a washout. For some of you this week, around Wednesday to Thursday, you may feel that things didn't work out quite as planned. Now, this is a sign ahead of time to be aware when getting too committed. Now, that's a funny thing to say, because I'm always talking about commitment and, meaning what you say and, really focusing on yourself and committing to your happiness and values and so forth. But this is about getting too fixed, too structured on something. Things are going to change places over the next few weeks, and you're going to see how the power of three really works miracles. Okay, now I'm not 100% what that means, except it was a message coming directly from Spirit. So what I would suggest is, if you've got three issues going on, make a note of them and then watch how they move around over the next 3 days. Maybe your focus will change. I feel like there's definitely money changing hands, or a change in balance. So where one thing may be a priority, it could change overnight. And it will spark some more interest. It will change other people's attitudes as well. I'm getting the 14th is very, very important for one change in particular. Now, I use the word variations, sounds like variance, which is kind of funny right now, but variations, as in there are going to be more variations that show up. Now, this is Spirit's way of saying this is possibilities, and what I'm being told directly is that the variants that are coming to pass are actually all linked to the possibilities, all linked to doors opening, things changing. It's almost as if there's too much being piled on, too many options, that's confusing things. Okay, now when I talked about commitment, I also got information just before I started about too much detail, looking into too much detail, again being too fixed on the details and all these different things. And although sometimes it's better to be a little bit granular and break everything down into small pieces, in this case, I feel like there's too much of a microscopic effect on certain issues. And Spirit is saying that sometimes we have to let sleeping dogs lie, okay? Sometimes we just have to let things pan out. Sometimes we just have to listen less to outside influences and what's going on, because the mind becomes too complicated with too many facts, and then we start questioning whether they're facts at all, because it's too quick and too changeable. What I'm seeing, so for instance, when we came up with this, the variant Omicron, and we had Delta and all this stuff, and Delta Force coming into play, just recently there's all these things coming up in France, and another 45 variants, and it's like, oh my god, how we can't keep track of it all. It's just going to keep continuing. What I'm seeing and what I'm being shown very clearly is that cells are dividing into smaller components. It's not necessarily expanding, but if you can imagine a molecule, right, so a circle, what I'm being shown is like these viral like capsules with all their little tentacles coming out. The normally what happens is they're kind of growing extra tentacles and they're changing shape. But what I'm seeing now is that these tentacles are growing until they snap. So they're dividing into smaller things, which are less effective to harm. Although I'm not a doctor and I'm not claiming to be one or a scientist, this is what I'm being shown. So they're showing that's the reason why sometimes these things are having less effect. Now, let's not even go into vaccinations because I think that, that's a completely other area and I don't want to go there right now. I start a massive argument. But this is what I'm being shown with Spirit, that all these things, as these tentacles or particles are stretching in shape, they're getting bigger, stretching, and they're pulling apart, and then these little things are dividing, and they're going off on their merry way, and eventually they show me like an ocean where they're all like dispersing off, and then some will just disappear because they're so tiny they'll disappear, and there's only one way to go. But what they're showing as well is that the actual foundation of the viral particle is becoming weaker each time, that there's nothing left. I'm just seeing it drowning. It's like it's got nothing to feed on, so it's just going into the seabed. I really feel like this has come from the shank is coming from something from the ocean, that it's something that developed in the ocean. Now again, I haven't looked into this in detail. This is all I'm seeing. Maybe that's already effective. Everyone knows about that, so apologies if I'm kind of late in there, but I'm just, it was never my thing to just to sit and study it because I've got other things to do, to be fair. But that's where I see it. It's something that's been laying dormant for a long time. For some reason, I'm getting Italy 1979 is very, very relevant to this. And it's to do with something on the seabed that disrupted or dislodged something. And that from then has grown. So this thing has been in existence for a long time. And so where we're kind of thinking it was China, well, or wherever, I'm also getting Russia. So I feel like something has moved, it's travelled. If you're in water, it's flowing, so it's going through a source. For some reason, water is coming up as really important, and I'm wondering if that is going to become a thing, that people are going to see something in water. I remember, was it in the plague or something? It was to do with the water source. So I think something's going to be found out. But I've seen this on a few occasions. Something to do with a green vegetable, something like I don't know, giving me asparagus for some reason. Something in there, or a vitamin that is there's a trace of a vitamin in something which is actually going to help the immune system that has not even been cited yet, and it's something really simple, just like the War of the Worlds. The common cold was the killer of the destroyer of the aliens. So, I feel like it's something much simpler, because the whole point of all of this was about simplicity, that people are looking too extensively in some ways, there's too much on demand, too much pressure coming from hierarchies, to be better, to be at the top of your game, but never finding the top, because the top just gets higher and higher and higher, and the climb's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. More resources are coming out, more machinery that's taking away what was really there naturally. We came into Earth, we didn't come here to be robots. We came here to live and work with the environment as animals do. We're all living beings. So if we've come into existence, there must be something we can work with. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Let's not go into it too much, but for some reason I had no intention of going there today, but there it is. Now, what I do see is some restriction on movement this week to do with some house moves. Now, this could be to do with Mercury going retrograde on the 14th, which again was an important date. That could be a bit of a tricky one this week. Anyone signing papers, I'm seeing delays here. It's like someone's looking at the clock and going, I've got to get this done by this time to save it or to keep my investment. If, for instance, the time goes over, trust. If you've lost out in any way, trust that somebody up there has actually got your back, because I'll see a better offer later, okay? There are some important things falling into place when you rise above the situation, especially round taking control. Again, this is about holding on too tight or being too enforced in what you're doing, looking too deep at these details and thinking, I've got to hold on, I've got to, watch everything all the time. I've got to be like an octopus with all these tentacles. Again, talking about tentacles. And holding on too much, then realising actually if I just let go and rise above it, I'll be able to see. It's about perspective, really. I feel like sometimes we're too close, we're too intent on everything, on finding every little missing piece. Let go of it, just rise up. Imagine you're in a lovely air balloon, or a helium balloon is taking you up, and then you can see everything, and then you'll see the patterns happening, you'll see everything changing in front of you so much more clearly. As they say, when you're painting, stand back from a painting and you see a different view, and it will look very different. Now, there's a lot of Cancer energy coming in because we've got the full moon on the 17th. I do see some things are saying a ricocheting. That's a big word, isn't it, for me? And there could be some sudden change by Saturday or Sunday this week. I do see a breakthrough for some people, again, around a house situation or move. Things could, fall neatly into your lap where you've been struggling. So anyone that's been struggling up until now, if you've been doing all the right things and you've been listening to the messages and seeing the signs, things will work out, okay? If you're ignoring stuff, resisting stuff, restricting yourself, things could just get tougher, okay? So start listening to your guides, listening to your soul inside, your heart self. There is a lot of eagle energy around, so let go of the fear of I can't, which promotes I can't, and consider I can. When you are going forwards, when you are moving into a better place, there can be more of a pull on your resources, or other people holding you back or talking you out of things, or little hiccups. Just know that's a sign you're getting somewhere, because it's that energy wanting to pull you back because you're becoming powerful. If you can change things around and look at things in a completely different light, things will become easier, okay? Thursday could be a real highlight for some people. If it's your birthday, I'm seeing some really fun times. If you have the opportunity, then have a chance to enjoy yourself. Emotionally, people are going to be much more expansive this week, wanting to take a chance. But again, be wary of this Mercury stuff. Don't jump in too quick. Do check the details. I was just saying then, don't look at the details, but I think it's just be aware of the details. Don't get too overwhelmed by it and stressed about it. Get out your own head, rise above it, be aware of what you want, what the focus is, what the goal is, and the possible hazards, and then you're covered. All right. Legal things will be dealt with this week, where they have where people have been dealing with for the last 3 months or so. There is a big change of direction on an emotional front, and some people will just feel like they want a fresh start, or they will start. It's a good time to manifest a fresh start, okay? Think about planting the seeds. I was thinking about this yesterday, that it feels like February is going to be the beginning of the year, because everything's a bit slow at the moment. We've come out of New Year, we're dealing with all this pandemic stuff. What are we doing? Are we wearing a mask? Are we not wearing a mask? Are we allowed in? Are we not? Is there a pass? Is there not? It just goes on and on and on. And then with Mercury coming in and Venus being retrograde as well, there's this kind of inner whirl going on, right? Now, just a quick bit of guidance where Venus is concerned. Watch going and changing things quickly. Again, it's very similar to Mercury. Mercury, you want to rush in and do stuff. Venus is about wanting to change how you look, because you want some kind of reaction, because the highlight will be off you. It's about inside. It's everyone's going to be looking inner, just as you might be. So you might want some attention, but they all want attention too. You may want to communicate, but so do they. You know, everyone's kind of lost in their own little world until February comes in. So take the time to work on stuff behind the scenes. Imagine you're preparing for the big show in February. You know, we've got Chinese New Year as well, water tiger. You know, the tiger in itself, you know, as an animal, as a totem, is about stepping into your power. So get things prepared. Let go of rushing too much. Just take some time to yourself. If you've got time to have some time off, get yourself, you know, in good health, you know, start a healthy diet regime or something, and just, you know, prepare yourself for something, for what's coming in February, because I feel like that's going to be the start of 2022. Please look back at 2016. There is some links there with what is coming from February onwards. So there may be something you started then and it's going to come back in. So anyone that would like a private reading, please go to the website. If you'd like a regular reading, you can get a monthly reading at a discount price, okay, for as little as $21 a month. Which is a great bargain. Many people have signed up for this and they're loving having some regular guidance. You can have readings however you like, whenever you want during that month. And it goes out monthly. There's no upfront fees or anything like that. So if that's something of interest to you, then please get in touch. And I wish you all a wonderful week, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.